Third graders, I want us to start today. We're going to look at some vowels, but paired with stuff. So if you saw this, what would you say? If you saw this in a word, what would you say? Apollo, it's up here. If you saw this in a word, what would you say, Joey?
R.
R. Would you guys agree if you saw this in a word, you'd say R?
Yeah.
Good. Today, we are going to be looking at our spelling card with AR, like in the word car, where AR says
R.
R. If we look at this power bar here, it's pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, there's only two main spellings that we use to get that R sound. So we're thinking about the sound. There are really only two main spellings that we use to get them. And so this is a huge one. Today, we're going to focus on this one. We're going to look at the AR. And we're also going to look at another one. We're going to look at the OR as well. When we see OR in a word, what would we say? Or. Look at our power bar for or. I'm sorry, that's not super clear to see, but look at our power bar for or. Is this one quite as strong? No, so there are going to be other ways to make this OR sound, the OR sound as well. What we are going to do is we're going to take a quick look at a group of words, and we're going to just identify where that OR and R sounds are. The reason for that is it's really important to see that OR and that AR, the OR and the R sounds, can show up anywhere in a word. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a list of words. I'm going to read the word, you're going to repeat the word, and then we're going to find the word, or the AR, the OR. Got it? Can we see that okay? So it's not the easiest to see. But we're going to go through them. You ready? Our first word is the word order. What's our word?
Order.
What do we see? OR or AR?
Or.
OR. The OR at the beginning says what?
Or.
Or. Fabulous. Look at number 2. We have the word boring. What's our word?
Boring.
Do we have or R?
Or.
Or. Where do we see it?
In the beginning.
Cool. Kind of the beginning, right after that B, right? Or. Very good. Next up, we have oral. What's our word?
Oral.
Oral. Very good. Where's that OR at?
Beginning.
Beginning. Next up, we have orange. What's our word?
Orange.
Do we hear or R?
Or.
At the
Beginning.
beginning. We're just identifying where that sound is. We have orphan. What's our word?
Orphan.
Very good. Where do we see it?
Beginning.
What sound do we see?
Or.
Good. We're identifying where that sound is. Orphan. Ooh, we also see that PH from yesterday, right? Where PH makes what sound? Very good. Next up, we have transform. What's our word?
Transform.
Do we hear OR or AR?
Or.
OR, where?
At the end.
Towards the end in that form, right? So I'm going to pause there just a second because we already see beginning, middle, beginning, end. We can see that or anywhere in a word, but when they're coming together, most often, we saw with our power bar card, that's not always the case. Most often, we're going to get that or sound. But use it. When you see that or and R paired together, typically, what are they going to say?
Or.
Typically, what are they going to say?
Or.
Fabulous. We're going to jump over to our other column super fast, and we're going to look at this same thing with our other words. Our first word is the word carnival. What's our word?
Carnival.
What do we hear in it? Or R?
Or.
Where?
Beginning.
Towards the beginning a little bit, right there. Next up, we have a barbecue. What's our word?
Barbecue.
Now, this is a funky word because I feel like when most students are writing the word barbecue, how many of you would just put B-B-Q? Right? This doesn't even have a Q in it. Q is actually spelled C-U-E. So just kind of funky to see. Barbecue. And what do we hear? A-R or O-R? R or?
A-R.
We hear the R. Where at?
At the beginning.
Barbecue. Very good. We have particle. What's our word?
Particle.
A particle is just going to be a piece of something, a part of something, a particle. Do we hear R or or?
R.
We're at
Beginning.
with that particle. Good. Next we have the word cigar. What's our word?
Cigar.
Do we hear R or?
R.
We're at
End.
the end. Good. Next we have depart. What's our word?
Depart.
If you depart something, you're leaving it. Good. And where do we see the AR at?
End.
The end. We hear depart back there. And we'll do one more. We have the word radar. What's our word?
Radar.
Do we hear R or?
R.
And where do we hear that R at?
End.
Radar. Very good. We're going to stop there with it. Again, just really identifying that that or and that R can be made or can be found anywhere in our words. It's not something that you're going to always find it after this letter, like some rules we have. When you see the OR, what sound should you try?
Or.
When you see the OR, what sound should you try?
Or.
Everybody pull down your mask to say it. When you see the OR, what sound should you try?
Or.
Thank you, Massa. When you see the AR, what sound should you try?
Or.
When you see the AR, what sound should you try?
R.
Pull down your mask and tell me. When you see the AR, what sound should you try?
R.
Thank you. Third graders, we're going to look at one more of these and then we're going to have an activity with it too. Our next set we are going to look at is going to be a little bit different. Let me put that aside and quickly erase my beautiful marks on my board so they don't confuse us. And we are going to be looking at another spelling card today. And we're going to look at the spelling card for this. When we see this, the ER in a word, what sound would you typically make? Good. Now, looking at our power bar for it, like in the word her, you are correct. We heard the word right? Looking at our power bar, what do we learn? What do we know? Viola. Yeah, we see since it's not going all the way to the edges, and it's about halfway, I'd say, maybe a little bit more of it is covered. There, ER is going to be a pretty powerful way to get that in there. We're going to see it a lot, that sound made with ER. But are there going to be other ways?
Yes.
For example, today we're going to go over this one. What's this one? Like in the word hurt. Now, look at the power bar on this one. What do we learn about this Brock, what do we learn? It's not nearly as common, is it? We're going to see the you are saying We'll say the you are saying what? But it's not going to be nearly as common as seeing the ER say And another one we're going to look at today is going to be the IR saying I'm sorry, this group right here has not said anything in a while, and I need you to participate. The IR will be saying Thank you. I can hear out of this ear, so I should know if you're talking. The Now look at our power bar for this one, like in the word bird. What do we notice? Right? When we look at our power bar, what do we notice? It's very small, right? Of the 3 ways we're going to look at today, it's the least common. Please stop. Now, third graders, all of these are a vowel team. We know because it's a consonant paired with that vowel. Not a vowel team, I apologize. It's got that vowel sound in there next to that R. These are R-controlled vowels, all of them. The O-R-A-R we just looked at were R-controlled vowels. These are R-controlled vowels. It's a vowel sitting right next to an and it helps change its sound, which is kind of cool. That R is pretty powerful with it. We're going to just look at some examples of ER, UR, IR words where all of them are saying, and we're going to be looking at it today. So here are a handful of words. We'll go through them a few at a time. The ER, we'll do, can I fit them all on? We'll see if I can get them all on. There. Can we see them all?
Yeah.
Fabulous. We're going to look at these. We're going to find them. I'm going to circle them this time as we go. Our first word is the word sister. What's our word?
Sister.
What do we hear in it? Made with an. Our next word is the word number. What's our word?
Number.
What do we hear? What do we hear? We hear We don't hear ER. I didn't say number ER. Right? We hear what? And what's making the We have nerve. What's our word?
Nerve.
What do we hear in it? We hear What's making that sound? Again, I want to point out end, middle, end. We see it in a few different places, but oftentimes towards the end with the Next, we have the you are saying what? What is that you are going to say? Our first word is the word surface. What do we hear in surface? And what's making that sound? Next up, I have a return. What do we hear?
Return.
Our words return. What do we hear? And what's making the
You are.
Charlie, less playing through clothes, more following along. Next up, we have occur. What's our word?
Occur.
What do we hear? Where do we hear it? Where do we see it?
At the end.
At the end. Very good. And over here, we have as well, but it's spelled with what?
IR.
Like in the word?
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Zena.
Thank you.
Like in the word birthday. We have direct.
Direct.
We have thirsty.
Thirsty.
30.
30.
And circus.
Circus.
I just went them quick through them. We want to see that same sound can be achieved through different spellings. ER, UR, and IR. Got it? We are going to open our activity notebooks. You can actually wait until directions are over, and we'll get activity notebooks out, and I'll go over the directions with you. Capiche? We are going to be, and you're not getting yours out. I'm going to go over directions for it, but you don't need yours out. This is the R-controlled vowels, O-R-A-R. We can find this on page 137. And then we're also going to do R-control, or we'll look at yes or no. And the yes or no today is going to be found on 139. And I'm going to go over the directions on these super fast. You ready? R-controlled vowels, O-R-A-R. Have students choose the best word to complete the sentence. After writing the word in the blank, have them circle O-R or A-R spelling, okay? That's a piece a lot of you will forget. For example, the red blank went down the street fast. The red arm, shark, farmer, car, torn, thorn, cart, yarn, corn. Car makes the most sense, right? So you would fill it in, and then you need to circle whether it's an AR or an OR. Got it? You'll finish this out. Put it away. The next part, put it away, Ray, is yes or no. You're going to write yes or no in the blank. Then circle either AR, ER, IR, or OR spelling, okay? So can a dog chirp with joy? No. So you're reading to see if it makes sense for one, but then you need to identify if it has an AR, ER, IR, or OR that's saying Which one of those words had the sound in it? Chirp. And it was made with what? IR. So we answer the question and then identify where we're getting that sound from. Got it? Fabulous. This again will be 137, 139.